So I just had like the most disgusting freaking coffee of my lifetime. I think I mentioned to you guys that the grocery store is like a whole thing, right? You guys know that. So if I fall in love with a brand of coffee or something, then likely the coffee will not be there. Since I drink iced coffee, I had the like in a bottle black coffee ready from 2 different brands. And I went to the store yesterday and they didn't have either of the brands. So I got one that was like mixed. It was disgusting. It was so bad that I had to throw it out and start this all over again. And I'm like even more awake. Not very much awake, but I'm more awake. I am dragging. And I had a piano lesson. So through the power of YouTube and this community, I have found a piano instructor. And she's amazing. And I didn't ask her if I could shout to the world who it is, but it's one of you guys. And she's gonna watch this and she may or may not laugh, but I suck at piano. And she's overly nice. No, everyone sucks at things when they first start, but it's such a humbling experience to like be out there. Well, it's like this too. It's a humbling experience to be out there and be vulnerable, and it makes you a better person. But as soon as I like finished the class, I called my husband and I was like, I'm quitting. Why? Because I'm not perfect. Growing pains of not being perfect. But I'm kidding. Like, it's a joke. And Miss Piano Instructor, I'm kidding. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to practice and I'm going to come back next week and I'm going to be perfect at the 3 pieces that you sent me for homework because they were rough. So that's my little blip there. But I am dragging. And fun fact, I told you guys that if I haven't had coffee, people are like, are you okay? My piano instructor asked me, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Just not as chipper because I haven't had coffee and it sucks so bad. So bad. Before I get into this coffee chat, one, sponsors, right? This coffee chat is sponsored by Miss Sandy. Thank you so much, Miss Sandy. I really appreciate your support. And if you ever want to sponsor a coffee chat, the link is down below. And I have a little bit of housekeeping to do after I talk about this little link. So I did something kind of fun, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I didn't want to talk about it until it was like got to the house and everything was good to go and all the hiccups were run through. So I had made these stickers and I don't have them with me because I live here, but I have one sticker that's listed on the Buy Me a Coffee and it's of the Iced Coffee Chat logo, which I thought was super fun. And my thought behind it was you can slap it on like a tumbler, they're dishwasher safe. It was just a cool little thing. Nothing big or serious. And I made it in 2 different designs. So I did the logo and I did Gazpacho's head, which is not listed yet because I wanted to see how it would go with the first one. Now, since I live here, my younger sister, my Mermaid of Atlantis sister, her name is Rafaela. So Rafaela has been helping me in the sticker adventure. And Athena did all of the graphic designing and helped me get the imaging up. So it's been like a sister thing. My sister Rafaela sees the world differently than most people. She's a very special soul, very loving and caring soul. And that's very important for when I tell you what happened. So a couple people have like snuck in and have purchased the sticker, but they hadn't come in yet. And so, you know, I had been keeping them up to date about delivery and all of these things. And my sister finally got them and she stuffed them in envelopes and she was so excited. What she didn't know though is that people were like purchasing a sticker. Not that it was like a sticker that was handed out of love. And what my sister did was she didn't ask. I also did not clearly tell her. So I will take some fault for the miscommunication and forgetting that my sister's brain works just a little bit differently. And I just assume she's on my brainwave, but she's not. So when she was going down the list of the addresses and stuffing the envelopes, she decided that she was going to switch between the two. And I'm like, no. And this just came up in conversation because she was so excited about how she had stuffed the envelopes and she wrote a thank you note. And she just, she couldn't decide. So she just did the power of chance and she stuffed them with whatever came in. So she sincerely apologizes. And these are the stickers. On the website, I still only have listed the logo sticker. If you guys would like to purchase one of those, they're in there. Like I said, it's just a fun little project, and I'll probably do just fun little projects like that. I'm not planning on making a huge business out of it. And obviously, I'm a terrible businesswoman because my one little hobby of a business already failed. So if you guys purchase one of these stickers and you receive a gazpacho head and you still want the logo sticker, contact me and I will ship one out to you ASAP to fix the issue. And that is that on that. Okay, another housekeeping. So you guys noticed that I uploaded a tutorial and it was like a how to floss tube tutorial. That was one of those, I don't know if it happens to other people, but you have like this, just an idea and you can't get it out of your head until you execute it. That was a product of that. Like now it's been like 4 days ago, 5 days ago, 4 or 5 days ago, that I just had this thing where I'm like, no one has done how to floss tube and people want to start up, vlogging and sharing their art and their craft, and they have no idea where to start because I was in the same situation. I didn't know where to start. In fact, I got that like push to do it through a vlogger that has nothing to do with our cross-stitch community. So she helped through one of her videos on how to start a channel and how to do all these things. And I just felt our community was missing that. So that's that. Again, just another creative bliff that I just had to get out there. And I didn't promote it on Instagram or anything. I just kind of like dropped it in there and flip. So if you're interested in seeing that, you can see that. But it's just, like I said, something creative that I did and put out there. And we'll see what the YouTube gods and the community says about that. This coffee's not good either. This is terrible. We're starting off rough. Terrible piano playing and terrible coffee. Ugh. Story times. So Thursday. I would like to start by saying that COVID is very serious. And the COVID diagnosis and hearing that you were exposed to someone who was diagnosed with COVID is very serious. However, I'm going to tell you what happened to us on Thursday, and I will give you guys the end results before, so you guys don't freak out. Everyone's negative. There's nothing to worry about. But I'm going to give it to you now as a dramatic reenactment. Thursday, I was on the live Stitch with Me with Michelle Bendy that she had. For the first time, I was sitting on the couch, I was stitching, it was perfect. I got on and she even was like, oh my gosh, look, Rocío's here. And like, it was like a whole thing. And I was like, oh, this is going to be so much fun. Until my husband gets a phone call from one of his co-workers in the office. So my husband goes to the office, but there's only literally 4 that are there, including him. So 3 other individuals. And then on occasion, people will come in and out, but not there day in and day out, all day long, other than the 4. So my husband gets a phone call from one of his coworkers, and she's like, do you have COVID? What kind of question is that, right? So he's like, no, what do you mean do I have COVID? And she's like, you haven't seen the email? What email? So there was an email sent out at like 8:45 p.m. that had said that someone in the office tested positive with COVID. There's only 4 that are there. So it turned into this whole like telephone conversation of like, who has COVID? Do you have COVID? Do you have COVID? Everyone was fine and in the office and nobody looked like they had COVID. Who has COVID? None of the 4 had COVID. So then it goes into this like, well, then what the heck? Like, why are we getting this email? What is going on? You know, COVID anxiety high. So obviously I had to click off of the Stitch with me, the live Stitch with me and figure it all out too, because it's like, you know, I'm downplaying this to make this funny, but I do take this very seriously. It was like a lice outbreak, like, lice. Like you feel like that all of a sudden my throat was itchy and I was just dying and I just had spiked a fever in nanoseconds. I'm a hypochondriac at that. So I was just like, that's it. Like, that's it. You know, we failed. We failed the COVID. We failed. So we get like a follow-up email that says that the employee who tested positive, the last time that they were in the office was August 11th, which is at that point in time was 16 days past the like normal 14-day period or whatever. As soon as we got that information, which should have been released first, we were like, it's fine. Obviously, this person, whoever it was, that isn't one of the 4 that are in there day in and day out. And then they could deduce like who it was based on the date. So it's just like a whole mess. She obviously caught it like after August 11th and she just tested positive. Right? I mean, there's no way. The next day happens and they have to call like the Houston headquarters and they have to make sure, you know, what do you do? Do you have to send all your employees to get tested? But like I said, since it was outside of the 14-day window, there was nothing. Like it shouldn't have even been a thing. Like I think that they should have just been kind and been like, hey, like one of us is, I don't even know how to handle the situation, but just to be like, hey, keep them in your thoughts. Like obviously you weren't exposed. It's been way too long, but keep them in your thoughts because they're sick and she's fine. Just a whole mess of a thing. So with all of those roller coaster up and downs and stuff, luckily this weekend was, and I think I've talked about this before, and maybe not on my coffee shop, but somewhere else. So bad. It's so bad. Oh, caffeine backup number 2. All right, let's try that again. That's 2 coffees down the drain. Jesus. Diet Coke. Another very great source of caffeine. It's a little early for Diet Coke, but just desperate times call for very desperate measures. This is a rough coffee chat. I think I have mentioned this before, maybe not. In the Bahamas, I have become a water snob, a complete water snob. There are, not very often, but there are certain days where the water in the ocean is so still that it looks like a pool, like just a swimming pool, because it's so clear and so still and you can see to the bottom. So the reason I'm a water snob is because I've experienced those waters. Like I said, they don't happen very often, but it happened this weekend. I think with the hurricanes that have come through, not through us, but have come through in the past, they suck so much water and the pressure and everything, especially the big one that just occurred, that it leaves the ocean just like. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'm just going to insert videos. why I'm a water snob. We're obviously not in quarantine anymore, but it's very, I don't even know what to call it. The stores and stuff are open. Mask is mandatory. So that's just I'm not even gonna talk about it because it's mandatory, you have to wear it. We have a curfew in place from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. But I think that's very appropriate. Since people have been on the road less, accidents have gone up, like car accidents, because I feel like people forget how to drive when they don't drive for too long here. So yesterday when I was driving, I just could tell that it was not a good driving day. And then I manifested 3 car accidents in a span of like a mile. Because you could tell. People were like, they forgot what driving is. Also, after the amazing still water day on Saturday, we had a beautiful sunset on Sunday. So I'll insert that here too. So this weekend was like a very nature beautiful weekend. Beautiful. One thing I will say, can you hear the snoring? Yeah, that's my dog. One thing I will say is, even with the most beautiful, I cannot say that it's not beautiful, waters and the most beautiful weather and sunsets and just these things that you obviously don't get if you're not living like here. I don't get that sense of like, oh, I never want to leave. I don't get that sense. So it's crazy because I do share these moments with you and I'm sure that you're like, oh my goodness, like that is just, she's so lucky. I am very fortunate to have days like that, but let me tell you that those days come at a very difficult price. Very difficult price. And it's just little nuances. Nothing, I always have to stay grounded and be very grateful that everyone has great health. Everyone's doing fine in my family, immediate and extended. Everyone's doing great. But it's been rough. This has been a rough year for everybody. And next month is October. I am basically, I can't believe we're in September. I'm basically ready to go back home. So even in the most beautiful sunset and the most beautiful water, and I'm enjoying it while I'm in it, I'm still like, one day less to get back to civilization. It's a tough pill to swallow. So I'm going to take you guys with me because we have a task today. We have a very big task. And today's coffee chat is probably going to be uploaded a little bit later, but I think it's going to be worth it. Our task is, my husband lost his swimming goggles after one day of purchase. Yes, you heard that correctly. He lost them after one day of purchase. Like I purchased them, and one day after, he lost them. We have no idea where they are. So he wants to get back into swimming now that he can go back to the swimming pool. So we have to go and get goggles. So we're gonna do that right now. And this is going to be a coffee chat vlog, basically, with Diet Coke. It's basically everything that I don't do in a coffee chat in a coffee chat. You ready? I've never done this before. So today is the day of a lot of firsts. Bear with me.
I'll be back. Go back to your morning nap. on the left hand of the road. And don't worry, you guys are safe, we're safe. We're not even going 30. Just feels like we're going super fast. This is Compass Point. In one of the James Bond movies with, oh, what's his name? Daniel something. Daniel Craig. You see him speeding by this exact corner with Compass Point. Maybe I should stop by this coffee shop. So I used to love coming here. I haven't been here in a million years. This is Louis and Steen's New Orleans coffee shop. Ooh, and there's people. They may be able to fix my caffeine problem. That is my arch nemesis. That guy, right there. The water guy. This is a terrible example of how we should be quarantining. Everyone should be at home, including myself. Look at all these cars. There's nowhere to even freaking park. Oh my goodness.
So I was gonna talk to you guys, but there's a lady in the car next to me, and I'm new to this, and I'm not comfortable enough to talk to a camera while people are watching. So we're gonna go in and see what we can find in terms of goggles with my mask, and we will see what happens. Okay. We got the goggles, and I didn't really record in the store because, like I said, I'm not that confident to like go and record in stores and stuff. I hope that you enjoyed this little spin on my coffee chat, and that you got to live just a little bit more in a day in the life. So plan for today. I'm going to go and finish my Diet Coke and continue caffeinating. I'm going to eat and continue stitching. My goal for tomorrow is to actually record a floss tube. So be on the lookout for that. I have a lot of stuff to show. And I think that I probably won't do another coffee chat until next week. So until then, but really until tomorrow, because I'll be seeing you just in a different avenue. Have a good day, have a good week, have a good weekend, stay safe, wear your mask, and I will see you guys again next time. That's how long it took, Gazpacho. See? I'm back. It was like 15 minutes. Go get your phone. Are you mad at me because I left? Bye.